cheating on her husband's probably not the best.
Finish him.
Maybe not great.
Yeah, it's
Wouldn't suggest that, but.
If Tashi, Art, and Patrick were on social media, who would dip into whose DMs first?
Patrick.
1,000%.
Come hang out with us later.
He's asking for your number, and so am I.
Who would be second? Tashi.
I think she's making people chase. She's like, I'm not going after you. She would like
Tashi,
block you on purpose just to make you have to come to her in person and be like, what was that about?
That's so true.
I have no idea what any of this means,
What would
but
All right there, Mike.
Okay. No, come on.
You're trying to is this a tennis match that we're about to have, you and me? We can compete.
I would love that.
Game of
She's really
pickleball?
good, Mike. I'm all right.
What about you in your real life? You are more fire or more ice?
I'm like a tepid water.
Like a stream.
Like a small stream. Yeah, I don't know. I think at different times in my life I've been different. You know,
Elements.
It's elements. Yeah. Do you know what's really funny is that as soon as we arrived, like to rehearse this film, we had the first few days, as with any job, it's like going to school for the first day, and you're like figuring each other out. We don't know. You know, I'd seen both of these actors like do amazing performances, and I was a little bit intimidated. And you know, you come in and then you realise that we're all intimidated by each other, and then that kind of all that just disappears. But I think what was immediately apparent is like none of us are like our characters, and which is so exciting because then you know as soon as you start reading those scenes together and seeing, it's such a privilege to see actors like transform into something else.
Very disarming.
Yeah. So I think we're all a bit of fire, ice, and
everything
in
nice.
between. Mostly
Fire,
in between.
ice, and everything nice.
Everything nice. Yeah.
Well, I think we're actually all bringing a lot of people tonight
Yeah.
Nice.
to the premiere.
Yeah, a lot of
Very
friends.
likely.
Yeah.
I guess tonight will be the litmus test and see how it goes down with our families.
Yeah,
And if
yeah.
it
Yeah.
doesn't go down well, maybe we won't be taking any. No, I'm sure
Have your family seen any of it before? Or is this the first time?
Yeah, me first time.
I have some family that's seen it, yeah.
What was their review?
Honestly, there's so much like, well, I think they were this, and I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
they
yeah.
did this, and I'm on their side, and I don't like this guy, and I think this happened. So that's the fun part. There's a lot of strong opinions.
Yeah, I feel like I want to watch.
But amazing.
A very long story about all of this, actually.
Well,
Come on.
Well,
give it to the people.
all right, fair enough. I'll try and be quick. During the pandemic, or right before the pandemic, Past Lives came across to me as like something to read and possibly put myself on tape for. I hate reading scripts. This one I read, I was like, wow, this is an amazing script. I agreed to put myself on tape for. Didn't get it. Pandemic happens. I'm alone, and I'm by myself. It's a random day, and I'm thinking about this woman who was about to make her directorial debut with this incredible script, and then the world shuts down. And so I actually wrote out to her agent, just being like, listen, and again, I told her, I was like, I don't read things. This was amazing. I really feel for you. I hope you're okay. I'm such a fan, and I hope you get the chance to actually make this movie because it's incredible. Then cut to, we're doing Challengers, and I'm getting to know Justin, and we're in the hotel lobby, and we're getting to know each other. I'm like, so tell me about yourself. And he's like, oh, well, I'm married, and my wife, he was like texting, he was like, sorry, my wife, she just finished cutting her first movie. I was like, no way, that's incredible. What's the movie? And he starts telling me the story. And I'm like,
That is so cool.
I'm like, hang on. Did I tell you this story?
I did know this.
And so I'm like, hang on. I know this movie. Why do I know this movie? He's like, well, it's like, whoa. And so I had to tell him, the whole story. And so it was kind of this like interesting thing of like paths.
Wow.
Very meta. Just like meant to kind of be and whatnot in some sort of capacity. Yeah.
Amazing. How are you going to match that? Past
Honestly,
lives?
that's awesome.
It
That's amazing.
was one of those things, and I truly do believe that like projects kind of find
Yeah.
us more than we go after like a certain kind of a project. Like I would love to say I have full power and control over my career. I don't think I really do, is the truth of the matter. I always find that like projects kind of find me at like the perfect time. And it's like, okay, this is what we're signing up for and this is what we're doing. And in some sort of kind of weird roundabout way, that was all supposed to.
It seems like there's all these like little things, like the things with like you meeting Justin or you having this experience or like the connection with Greatest Showman and you doing Dear Evan Hansen.
Right.
And then I watched The Crown and I was like, this guy. And then Lucas said the same thing. Like, I feel like, yeah, I don't know.
Some things are just meant to happen.
Some things are meant to happen.
Well, I'm a great admirer of them both as artists, and you know, Mike is a phenomenal actor and a great person, and you know, he was responsible for getting me out of bed on the weekends and doing activities which otherwise I wouldn't be doing. I'd be quite happy in my room. So I'm very grateful for that. But he's just a terrific artist, and Zendaya, of course, is you know, phenomenal and like a force. And so to watch her work every day, both as an actor but also as a producer, these two roles, and she did it with such grace. It's very admirable, yeah.
Challengers. So
What did you think of the tennis?
I thought it was so much fun.
Okay.
I thought it was great.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was good.
That was the
That was
most
good.
honest anybody
Yeah.
has ever been.
Thank you.
I also, you know, do think Kyrgios is a fantastic tennis player.
Absolutely,
And
so much
You
talent.
know, there's part of me that's like, oh, I wish he'd sort of tone it down and just focus on the game. But truly, that comes from my love of him as a tennis player. Comes from this film, and it was like, how do we find a character that I can take stuff from for Patrick? And more than the tennis playing, it was the in between. That when he's sitting down and resting, you know, he'd do very provocative things.
That's exactly right.
And I find it endearing, like terrible and endearing, and I like that.
Barney theme song.
I knew you were. I knew it was coming.
I knew it was going to be something.
This man.
What?
Barney themes? I didn't even know what that is.
I
Love you. You love me. We're a happy family.
Is that the
Is
Barney
that
theme
it?
tune?
It is.
Are we making that up?
I wasn't
I
really
used to
thinking
love
you
Barney.
guys.
So
Me too.
it's gotta be.
It was very influential on
It
my
really
child.
was.
No, it was.
No, seriously.
There was a kid named Mike, and I wanted to be on the show.
Oh my.
Well, there you go.
Zendaya had the strongest core. Like, do you remember this?
Oh,
yeah, that was
I forgot about that.
that was fully insane.
I'm glad you
There
reminded
was
me
this-
of something I can brag
There was this.
like a hold over you guys.
It was like a diaphragm thing,
Remember
you
that
know?
thing
There
we
was
had
this
to hold?
balloon.
I couldn't do it for a second.
There was like this
so
balloon,
funny.
and we would lay on it on our back.
try
I'm
to,
getting
like-
really awkward as I try to present this.
is
But there
so-
was this.
I love that you
diaphragm.
remember that.
It was crazy because
Yes.
I remember, and it had this
Little
indicator, and they instructed us to engage our core. And when Josh and I did it, like, you know, the ticker went, and we're like, oh, that's pretty good. And then Z did it, and it like broke the meter.
Oh, wow.
It actually, the needle went literally all the way.
I also want to say that was not the song that was playing while I was there. It was it was
really?
a Bowie song that was playing.
It was, wasn't
That
it?
plays
I was trying
later.
to remember what it was.
It plays later in the
Oh, it
scene.
does, oh, yeah.
But it's just not what was playing on the day when I was dancing. So then later I was like,
You're like,
wait,
I'm not dancing to
I'm
that.
not if I would have
She's
danced
so out
a
of
little
rhythm.
bit different if I knew it was gonna be it's getting hot in here, you know what I mean?
I had no idea I could possibly be that upset at Zendaya.
Okay.
I love you.
Good.
But Tashi Duncan and
Wow. Okay.
I was mad, and I haven't been able to talk to anybody about
Have
it.
you seen it again?
I only seen it once.
Well,
Keep it that way.
once you come back, you let me know.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, hold
People
on.
who've seen it twice
Okay, talk to me, guys. Talk to me.
generally come out. Well, after we told them to come out. No, you get me and Z get a lot of flack.
Yeah.
Right.
And then when you see it on second viewing, and you're like,
Wait a minute.
You guys watch Ratatouille, okay?
We
I know you
did.
watch Ratatouille.
Yeah.
I want to know, and I know, Josh, that came from you, and the whole world is grateful and, you know, blessed.
Oh, here it is. Their way of
They're
doing
trying
it.
to do it, and
It's
you're
their
just
way of
sneaking
doing
it in.
We're not gonna cut you.
We're not gonna tell you.
You sneaky,
I'm
sneaky.
blushing.
But back to Ratatouille. The Ratatouille thing was lovely because it was like, while these characters are extremely intense and we're shooting like a Luca Guadagnino film, like the idea of it feels very serious and very, you know, daunting and all these things, and our characters are very intense. But it's always nice to just like watch Ratatouille. You know what I mean?
great.
And
That's
just
the
have a
message
good
for everyone.
time.
It's a
What's
great
Ratatouille?
Okay. Well, you were right. She had a great answer. I'll take it. Thank you so much,
Thank
guys.
you.
So we all agree he's the worst.
Yeah. Watch it again.
It's always nerve-wracking. And it's always pretty horrible seeing yourself on screen. As I feel like anyone can imagine that, right? If ever like a friend takes a video of you on their iPhone or something, it's like the worst thing is then seeing it.
Watch it back.
Yeah, it's like, it's horrible. So it's just like that times a million. I think I would like
tennis.
fight anyone who was like, the ball is green.
Okay, because like, you would physically.
I would fight him.
This is like the kindest, gentlest person.
Yeah.
He's going to fight you.
I'm not saying I'm going to win. Like, I would lose. Look at that.
That I would fight.
Yeah. Really good. Yeah. I can't say this out loud, but we have to debrief what this person just said.
Oh.
Oh, that's
We do a lot of those. I feel like. I'm always like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has that down.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, let's talk about that.
we have a lot of that.
Wimbledon is very, it's quiet. Like you can hear a pin drop, and then U.S. Open is like, "Let's go, Serena!" Like that literally was my mom next to me. So, yeah. Yes, absolutely. I was like, "Mom."
It's like, yeah, all three of our characters are flawed. I'm like, what did Art do?
He started the
Watch
whole
it
What did Art
again.
thing. He started the
He
whole
starts
thing.
the whole thing. He's
What
the
the-
reason for the argument. He's the reason for the injury.
So at the beginning of the
He's
film,
the reason for the injury.
Yes.
No, Z.
at the
no.
beginning, at the beginning of the film, let's just go through.
I don't know.
Okay,
At the
talk
beginning
to
of the
me.
film,
Yeah.
spoiler alert. At the beginning of the film, they're all good. Yeah. They're kissing in a hotel.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a game. Like
Yeah.
whoever wins the tennis match gets to go out with Tashi. I win.
Yeah.
I'm going out with Tashi. We're having a pretty good time.
Yeah, life's
we don't
good.
see it on screen, but we're happy.
Yeah.
We're happy together.
You guys feel really insecure about the whole thing.
Yeah. I'm not buying
I
it.
think they could have had it all. Is all I'm saying.
Listen, we're on the
bear with
time
me.
here. You're not selling
We're
me.
happy. Wait. We're happy. Then they go to Stanford.
Yeah.
I come to visit.
You're
just before I come
literally
to
just
visit.
telling the whole story, by the way. I just want to point out, you were just giving the movie away.
That's fine. That's fine. I don't care. At this
Okay,
point.
so then let me ask this.
Josh, were you born in Southampton or is that a Wikipedia lie?
I was born in Southampton.
Fantastic. Do you know it's basically out of you and Craig David for most successful person out of Southampton? How do you feel about that?
Is that true? Hang on. I love Craig David.
Yeah.
So he can take it. Also, I was only born there, and a lot of my family lived there, but I grew up somewhere else.
You're not going to
So I
claim
can't-
Southampton?
I don't think I can claim it.
Yeah.
Although, if Southampton Football Club wanted to give me season tickets,
You're more than
I will claim.
then I will claim it. I grew up there.
Moment. And are there ADR sessions for the grunts and the yells and the screams?
There definitely were ADR sessions. I had a very, very embarrassing... Look, being an actor 80% of the time is incredibly embarrassing. And so one of the most embarrassing things I find is ADR. Because, particularly if you're having to do something physical, because you have to move to get to move around, to get the physicality. But you don't want to move around too much because you're in a studio and there's microphones. And so I did a lot of grunting in a studio in London. But the grunting is like, it's weird. I used to hate, when I watched tennis when I was younger, I'd always prefer the tennis players who didn't make a noise. Because I love the sight, particularly because Wimbledon, our competition, is so silent and delicate, and you just hear the hitting of the ball back and forth. And the grunt would always be like kind of jarring.
Really?
Yeah, I sort of didn't
That's
like
my favorite part because I like.
I love it now.
You guys have bonded after this experience. I reckon you'll be perfect for something called mind melding. You all think of a word right now, and after 3, you're gonna say it out loud. The idea is that you're gonna end up saying that we've never been able to catch this on camera before, right? Okay, all think of a word.
Can I say? It's not gonna happen now.
All right, we got to take this. We got to take this seriously, though, right? Otherwise, it won't work. All
Don't
think
get
of a
crazy.
word.
Because I know that you're going to go so left, bro.
All think of a word and say it out loud in 3, 2, 1.
Tennis.
Oh my gosh! We
Come on, bro. What? I said let's keep it simple.
I said heart because I saw heart.
Oh.
I was literally like this. part.
I was on good behavior.
It was so funny. In my head, I'm like, just please, tennis. Just please say tennis.
Do you feel left out? We'll take a two-way mind meld. I think it's
I feel so left out. This is basically the film. The point is, it didn't work out. You tried.
What is the trick to passive-aggressively eating a banana?
I don't know.
You reference yourself.
I referenced myself the other day in an interview. They were like, I was talking about Nick Kyrgios, and I was like, he does this amazing thing where he eats banana, and then they were like, Josh, that's you in the movie.
He's that good. He's that good.
I tell you, who's
utter narcissist.
Me, yeah. Exactly.
Not a lot of people know that. And who was most likely to forget their lines in front of Luca?
You guys were pretty sharp. I don't remember.
No, we drilled our lines.
Yeah. I think we were all pretty. I don't think there was ever a dry or a corpse, to be honest.
No, but if
it
one
were to
be
be me,
it would be you.
I was on the edge. Yeah.
Tennis player you studied for your role.
Yeah, this is where this doesn't work. This is where this doesn't work.
Do you know what? Skip the paddles. Fire the
No,
golf
you
game.
came in committed. We are doing it.
We're doing the battle.
Okay, favorite movie of all time. Fine.
Both sides.
You're just gonna answer
Singing
the
in the
question.
Rain, Indiana Jones' Last Crusade.
Good stuff. Weird habit.
Yeah. Over to someone else.
I've noticed
Didn't have
no
any.
weird habits.
No weird
for you,
habits?
no.
Dang.
Okay, movie you watched on the flight over.
I slept.
Killers of the Flower Moon. Killers of the Flower Moon. I can't help myself.
Sunrise.
It's so seamless. It's so seamless.
Before,
Okay, go ahead.
what happens? He comes to me, he says, he's not in love with you.
Right.
I said, what?
Well, he wasn't lying.
But why would you? Do we know that?
And then he says to
And then
me,
he says,
My man.
that I'm not in love with her. I'm like, I am. And then he tells her that I'm not. And then she gets injured, ruins her career.
You are literally giving the movie away.
Okay. You know what? Okay, what's
and then
cool?
we see each other again, it's magic. You know what I mean?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
no, but jeez. Okay.
See, you think you're not protected, but you
So,
are over here
explain
trying
this
your
to me.
best.
You guys-
My grandma is gonna watch
Same.
this. Like, she's setting a whole thing with, like, all her friends to go. And I'm like,
Oh, that's
Grandma.
kinda sweet, though.
It's really sweet. She loves tennis, so she was so excited that I was doing this movie. But I'm like, oh, maybe we can skip a few scenes. You know what I mean?
So your grandma's taking a group of her friends
Yes,
to see it?
yes,
Wow.
she is. She does it for every movie that I do. But she's also seen
so
Euphoria,
nice.
so
That's so sweet.
yeah. So she's fine. She'll be fine. Like I said, if you can get through Euphoria, you can get through this.
But who's the best kisser?
Josh.
Thank you. Z's quiet.
I'm gonna let y'all take that.
I watched Wimbledon most years.
So you truly understand
But I didn't
the
really
rules? No,
understand
okay.
what was
Be
happening.
for real. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just if everybody else clap.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great,
Yeah, it
guys.
was good.
So much in this film of like nearly, and there's so much of like them taking, you know, like, and a lot of the scenes are like mini tennis matches. You know, it's like the dialogue that Justin wrote is a kind of like back and forth and people trying to undermine each other. And you would be doing these scenes together and you'd be like, oh my God, I'm winning. And then it's like, oh no, she's winning. Or like, you know, whatever it was, it feels like a back and forth, like a tennis match.
Yeah.
And so I think when you have the actual tennis matches, that's almost like the release.
Yeah.
So I think it kind of represents that the sort of sex scenes in the movie. Yeah.
Were there any players in particular that you felt like you studied to get into the role?
I looked a lot at Nick Kyrgios.
Did you?
Yeah.
With the serve?
In the script is very specific about Patrick having a weird serve. We had this day with Brad Gilbert, who was our tennis coach. Brad was like, okay, I'm going to show you some videos of weird serves. You might have noticed the weird. I didn't. But I don't think any of us did. It was basically Brad showed us, to us, normal serves.
And you were like, what's weird
They were
about
like, they
it?
all look exactly the same.
I'm so glad you brought him up because we've got...
Hey Laura, this is BG, Brad Gilbert from
Aw.
Houston. So ask the guys about the Weymouth practice. For 6 weeks, we would start practice usually at 7 a.m.
No question. I think he just wanted to chat to you. But how did you find that practice?
One, all of us were terrified.
Yeah.
Because we were super insecure about it. And it was a daunting test I was asked about.
I think I was like obsessed with how can I get reasonably good at tennis. And actually I remember there was a day where Z came in and I was feeling really anxious. I'd spoken to Mike one night and I was like, God, what am I going to do? Like I am terrible at tennis and I'm playing a very good tennis player.
Well, by the time we actually got to that part in the scene, we all really realized we hated each other. And
Just had to get it done.
yeah.
Get it done.
Yeah, it was
5,
it.
6,
Yeah,
7.
so just
Yeah.
like, oh man. It was tough, man.
Was it tough?
Absolutely.
Hard for you?
Hardest thing.
Probably the most challenging, I think, on my end, honestly, was working with Josh O'Connor. Just a nightmare of a human, really. I mean, look at him over there. He's just kind of like
Just taking pictures and being a generally decent human.
Yeah.
Autographs. Who does that?
really milking it. You know what I mean? No, the truth of the matter is we really enjoyed ourselves working on this project, and it was a daunting task taking on the life of a professional tennis player, and it was a lot of hard work, and I'm really grateful for both Josh and Z for all their wonderful support, and I hope everyone just enjoys the movie.
Absolutely. Now, Josh told me that you're an incredible tennis player, that you really left no stone unturned when it came to showing them up.
On top of being an absolute nightmare of a human, he's also an awful liar. That's not true at all.
Patrick was someone that you had to find a bit, especially his level of confidence, because that scene with Zendaya when she's looking at you in the alleyway, I would have a hard time keeping a straight face when she's looking at me the way that you do that. But he's so brash. From his serve to every ounce of him, like thinking he can take someone else's breakfast sandwich. That is not, I would not be comfortable with that. So talk about how you found his bravado, but also his sort of humanity, because we still fall in love with him. We still forgive him through every, misserve.
Patrick is, as you say, he's like unabashed. He's front-footed. He enjoys, one of the things that the three of us have found, people watching this movie, is that they come out and they're kind of outraged by this behavior. And yet people are enjoying it. And when they're saying the outrage, they've got a grin from cheek to cheek. And I think that's what Patrick is. It's like when art ruins Patrick's relationship with Tashi and sets off this carnage.
Say it again.
Yeah. Patrick kind of loves it. He's sort of, when he accuses you of being a snake, it's like, I'm grabbing you and I'm loving it. So I think, in the end, I really enjoyed this character that really owns his troubles and celebrates them and celebrates the dance that these characters play. And, I often think that Justin's script and the scenes, each scene, most of the scenes are duologues, and they are like tennis matches. And you're trying to undercut the other character, and then that character kind of pulls the rug from underneath the other one. You think you're winning a scene, and then Mike does something interesting as art, or Z does something interesting with Tashi, and you're like, shit, I'm on the back foot. So that that sense, Patrick has to be strong in order to kind of compete with these two.
Yeah, the first time any of us have worked together.
Yep.
We got on brilliantly, had the best time. It was nice. I'd do it again.
Why does it sound like you're lying?
Yeah, I know it does.
It sounds like he's lying.
It sounds so fake.
I was like, I had a good time, and I'd do it again.
If you're
We believe you. You're an actor.
Did you guys? I'm curious, what was your experience before? How would you categorize your experience during? And now, how do you consider yourself in the tennis game after?
Awful.
Perfect.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Awful.
yeah, bad, and bad.
How much of that was like you crafting your own tennis style?
Well, I don't think I was good enough to craft my own tennis style,
Tell us.
unfortunately. But
That's what it is. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
He crafted.
It's a distinct style. I like
Yes.
it.
I'm giving it to you.
Yeah, but it is also, he was supposed, in the script he's supposed to. Fortunately, he was supposed to have a distinct style. The serve was funny because, in the script, obviously he has a very kind of like distinct thing. Brad Gilbert would be showing me videos on YouTube and he would be like, look how crazy this serve is. And for me, it was like, just a normal serve. But for a tennis player, they notice really finite details, and that's finite details to them is crazy. So we had to sort of.
That's so
we
funny
did have
because
to
he
sort
was
of-
like,
he was
look how
like,
weird.
Look at this weird one. And I was like, oh yeah.
That's weird.
That's weird, Brad. I think.
Actually, those sequences ended up being more choreographed
Yeah.
than anything, really.
And everything was storyboarded. I mean, there were so many very specific storyboards for the entire sequence, and I feel like we were there for like weeks.
We would shoot different tennis sequences at different times. I mean,
the big Challenger Tire Town one we did in one block of 2 weeks or something like that. Same.
We were supposed to do it in a week. Remember that?
Yeah, but
no
there was
way.
a storm.
And then there was a
and then just shooting.
And then it was just we're like, this is actually gonna
It's a
take a
lot.
lot more.
Yeah,
I would go with Venus or Serena.
Venus or Serena, you gotta pick one.
It's a tag team.
How would
being
I?
all-
How would I pick one? That'd be impossible. I'm getting both.
You're getting
It's-
both?
triples.
Triples.
Like you've never seen that before, and really it would be them playing doubles and me running to get them water.
Right.
Poor boy.
Towel. Yeah, literally. I'm like, what do you guys need? What do you need?
Start here.
I didn't play tennis. I had held a racket and attempted to hit it over a net when I was younger and not succeeded. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how good was I before we started? Probably 1. And when we finished, maybe 3.
Oh, wow.
Thanks very much.
That's shocked.
I love that. I was thinking that they were going to be, come on, Josh, you're being modest. In fact, they were looking at me like,
Really? A 3?
you get 3?
You're gonna give yourself a 3. Okay.
All right. Wait, do you think he's better or worse than a
Worse,
3?
they think.
Because I was gonna give myself a 0.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, right, okay.
And this,
I'm like, because I was giving 10, like, Serena.
yeah.
And I was
okay,
like, so.
if it's tennis Serena, then I started -4
Okay.
and ended -3.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere along. Same.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope
Squared.
this is squared.
Oh, cubed.
Cubed.
Sometimes locations can really affect how much time you spend together because sometimes you're going back to your trailer in between setups and you're sort of isolating a bit. But we were really like outdoors all day, every day for 2 weeks.
And the trailers were kind of far.
And they were far.
It's better
so
to just stay.
We were just hanging out, and that was so nice. And we got silly together, and talked a lot about snacks, which I enjoyed. So that was we had a great time.
I know what you do. You do it.
I do. But I actually changes quite a lot. The other day I saw there was a course advertised for horticulture, gardening. And I sort of quite like the idea of working in a gardening, on a big garden, like a National Trust garden.
Nice, yeah, I've got a lawn, I get it.
Go, I'll come over. Let me know and I'll be there.
I'd be a clown for children's birthday parties.
You would be the worst clown.
What?
No, that's so harsh. Sorry, you'd be great.
Please.
You're ruining your new career.
Boo.
No, you would be great.
What the hell?
Do anything you.
I have a passion for that.
Where did you just pluck that from?
From my ass.
The chemistry between you, Zendaya, and Mike is absolutely incredible. I mean, the tension is next level. What was it like between the three of you building that chemistry, working together on set? Maybe a favorite memory?
We had the time of our lives. The three of us are very close. I think the big surprise to a lot of people who hear it, but also for me, was that Mike Feist and Zendaya are obviously incredible actors, and to rock up and see that they're all the same as me, and we're all kind of shy and all sort of scared. It was.
I think Zendaya has entered the building. I mean, Josh, come on.
Look at that. Come on.
Talk about a leading lady, right?
Yeah, she looks amazing.
You were saying you were giving so many compliments about Zendaya. How conveniently timed.
No, I planned it. We were all kind of shy and in it together, and yeah, it was a treat. We're all very close. Yeah.
Incredible.
Okay, so I did dedicate my whole life up until the age of 14 to soccer, football. And
Football.
and very quickly realized that so does every other child in the UK dedicate them. So no, I could definitely not go pro. I tried. It didn't work out.
We've all been that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Did you try?
Of course I tried.
Of
Of course I tried. It's
course,
huge in
yeah.
this guy. Of
It's
course
still
I
in
tried.
there. It's still in
Monday
there.
nights, I still rip it up at 5-a-side, but it's
I
not
don't.
gonna. Yeah.
Challengers. There's 3 of us.
Challenging.
Challengers.
Each other.
Yes. So yeah, it's a double entendre.
Oh. Oui.
We'll win if you play each other.
I'm not even trying.
Yeah.
Now,
this guy.
now air tennis, okay, y'all not seeing me.
Yeah,
On the air tennis, you're not seeing me.
I love this.
Mini tennis.
In imaginary tennis,
Yes,
I'm the best.
I'm the best. Okay.
And Mike is definitely the best.
Yeah.
And then
Of the
air
real
tennis, 100%.
tennis.
Yeah, of the real tennis.
This mic. I'm talking about this mic. No.
That's why you didn't say that much about your experience with tennis, if you're that good.
Mike's really good.
It's not. I'm not.
It's annoying.
It's okay.
I was like that first day I came in and I saw Mike. I was like, shit.
Yeah,
and then I saw you and I was like,
Oh,
all right,
we're
we're
good.
good. We're good.
Yeah.
We have time. We have time.
We're fine. You know, the thing is that every character you play, a little part of that character stays with you. You feel very defensive over that character. And so we found that people will come out and they'll be like, oh, you were horrible. And often, actually, a lot of the time, we get a lot of that.
Yeah, it's us.
And we have to remind people what this snake, not Mike, his character. Did. But the point is, and what's so great about the film, the script, and Luca and these actors, you know, is like, I think we all bought into the idea that it's, you know, it's not clear. Nothing's clear in this film. You know, that it's not as straightforward. I also find them all deeply likable. And they're all problematic and behave badly, as humans do. And they all mess up and make mistakes. And sometimes attempt to redeem themselves. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes, you know, I remember being really early on being like, you know, I wonder if Patrick really feels this sense of remorse. And Luke was like, no, he doesn't. He's Patrick. And you're like, oh, yeah, okay, nice. You know, it's like these are complex human beings, and at different points, they experience different things. So we're all very defensive over our characters.
How does he work with you on the intimate scenes, in the sensual, sexual scenes? How does it work?
Well, I think in some way, I mean, the
As
film...
a director, I mean.
Yeah.
Crack my neck.
You think the minute?
I'm so
You need a
sorry.
chiropractor.
Yeah.
Get one.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mike said it perfectly. Look like you're just giving up. God damn it, you took all the good ideas.
The worst part of it. My time's up.
There we go. Perfect. Who was your top three? Who did you...
Yeah.
Most evil to least one?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Oh! There we go! Yeah!
Attendu pour faire ce film. So, another thing, are you sure? You good? All right. Oh yeah, it is like tennis. You don't know what's coming at you. Okay. So, my question, you guys, how is it to work together? And if you have some memorable quotes or like a moment that was really, oh, she already had one, that you maybe want to share with this audience who's been patiently waiting for you guys today.
What?
Do you have like a special memory from when you were shooting the movie?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, we were just trying to debate on which one of us was going to take the question.
I wanted to start out by asking about one of the many details that I love in this film, which is the progression of the I Told You shirt from Tashi to Patrick. And I've seen that shirt kind of come up on red carpets during the press tour, so clearly it holds some meaning for the movie. So I'd love to know, you know, for the three of you, what meaning does that shirt and who's wearing it hold for your characters in the film?
Well, there's a meaning of all shirts, because I also realized that you guys switch shirts. Like, you wear a shirt at the party that he wears in the hotel room.
Yeah.
And then there's a shirt that I have that's my shirt that he ends up wearing and keeps throughout his life. And then there's later in life, Tashi wears her husband's shirt and goes out and she's with him. So it's like there's constantly this idea of like traveling garments of clothing that interconnect them as well. But the I Told You shirt is, I believe, a real life shirt.
Yes.
From JFK Jr.
Correct. That's
There's
right.
like a paparazzi shot of him wearing the shirt.
Jonathan Anderson found lots of these images and inspired him, and one of them is this I Told You shirt. I mean, it's perfect for Patrick. It's the kind of thing he does all the time. It's so cheeky.
Yeah.
Well, I actually didn't have a sport, but I did have a passion for being a clown at children's.
Oh, God, damn it. You'd be a clown.
He set us up.
Unicycle.
I love that.
Unicycle.
And
It didn't
finally,
work out, though.
And finally, in the interest of...
Unfortunately, I'm an actor.
I think, I mean, there were various things going on in those 6 weeks. We were learning how to play tennis, and and we were working out and eating. Well, Luca very kindly said that, you know, I kept up. Sometimes I cheated and had a burger. This man was very regimented about his food. He was very much better than me. But we would. But very much in line of the character. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Or his character. Character work. So I did absolutely right.
When I first read the script, the scene that jumped out to me that I was very excited about was the sauna scene at the end between Patrick and Art. Just having this conversation with a deep, long friend and almost brother, and this kind of realization of, their falling out, and kind of them coming to a head as adults and facing things head on and battling each other.
That was a scene that I was really excited about as well. I also loved, Justin's an amazing writer, and every scene feels like a tennis match. They're constantly trying to outdo each other or like pull the rug from under each other. Like they're always trying to battle, and you can feel like you're winning a scene, and then someone throws something else at you and you're kind of on the back foot again. That's really clever writing from Justin.
Opinion I've been hearing about this film, especially from male audiences, they say the beautiful part of this, of Challengers, is how beautifully it shows male psychology and male behavior. And I wanted to ask you, what do you think about that? And do you think there's such thing as a common denominator gender-wise?
You guys are both looking at me?
I looked at him and he looked at you, so I looked at you too.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you've been skating without answering
I've been
for
just
a couple.
like laying
yeah.
low, trying to get away with it.
Get on out of there.
Look, I can only speak for myself, but...
No, speak for all of us.
All right, fair enough. When I read the script, the thing that jumped out at me was this friendship. It was one of the appeals to doing it. And, I think for Art, and I can only really talk about my character, I guess, in this regard, is this idea of, a person who is attracted to someone's qualities because of the lack of what they have. So in both Tashi and Patrick, both of these players are both better at the game than Art, but at the same time, they have a certain kind of sense of self that Art does not have. And so he's kind of drawn to those two in that way, and he kind of wants to take on their persona like through osmosis.
And don't let him tell you otherwise. He's really good.
We're gonna start over here. So good. What is the first scene you filmed together or separately for the movie?
Our first film together was my first day on set, and it was at the hotel lobby in Atlanta.
Yes.
And Luca directed us from an iPad.
Because Luca was sick, and so he was upstairs and did the whole thing from iPad. And it was really impressive, honestly.
It was impressive.
J'espère que je ferai une bonne traduction, je crois mieux. I hope my translation is good. But my very first question is going to be for you, Luca. Can you tell the audience, what made you want to do this movie? You felt like when you wrote the script, you were like, I need to do it.
You're asking the absolute wrong person for this.
No, fashion icon, Mike. Feist. Is it in or out?
I love you, Mira, sorry.
In or out?
Out.
Out.
The city of love, and tennis is a game of love, right? And the wonderful thing about tennis is that it's a metaphor for life, and it's all about taking, you don't know what's coming at you, and you just gotta grab it.
Ooh, I like that.
Then we all flew to Boston. We just stranded there for like 4 months. These poor people had to eat broccoli and chicken for months, every day. I corrupted him. I gave some pasta to Z. I did not corrupted Mike at all. Impossible. But we rehearsed, which I never did.
Oh, wow.
We rehearsed like a long time, weeks and weeks and weeks. It was fantastic because we were like putting words in the mouth and like morphing them, and we had Justin with us. So it was like a beautiful like lab, like a factory, and we all contributed to get this thing in the screen as a final shape. So it's great, amazing experience.
The way the script was written by Justin, who's amazing and so talented. Your stomach wanted to add something. Is that, is that,
Two?
I did the what?
The slap.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You didn't hear that?
No, I suddenly was like, did that happen in this film? But it does.
It does.
2 takes?
2 takes, yeah. Very few.
Very nice. Oh, any real life scars you can show us? Go on, Zendaya.
This one, oh, you guys see my, I don't know how to show you. This one.
How are you getting your leg like that?
It was from the scene where I fall onto the tennis court, and tennis courts hurt.
Oh.
It's like and I was like, why is my sock bloody? Yeah. And then I was like, oh, I'll just scrape some of the skin off and made a nice little scar, so I'll always remember challengers. I have like little, do you know like production, I don't know if you guys have that, but I have little scars from different productions on the back of the same leg.
Oh yeah, that one.
It's Euphoria, that's breaking down the door. So they just, I get to collect them. And
Some people get tattoos from the films they've been in. You're just collecting scars and wounds.
It's actually quite comforting and nice. I'm like, oh, I'll never forget challengers.
With each time and how it progressed from when they were younger to the present day and the actual challenger itself, it's almost as if you're tonally in different movies as well. We talked a lot about Superbad, that movie, those early 2000s movies where the comedy's kind of like that, and so obviously, of course, when they're younger, everything is a little bit more freer, a little bit more open, a little bit more pure, maybe in a way. And then, of course, in the present moment, when life has happened, it becomes, the actual sticky situation that these people are dealing with.
What other job do you think you'd be doing if it weren't for acting?
Wow. Mike's scrapped. Mike?
You can start, Josh.
Okay. I often think about it. I think there's lots of things that I, at some point in my life, would like to do. One of them is make pots. And
only pots.
Yeah. Sorry, and make pots, not pot. I should.
Pots. I'm glad you clarified.
But I saw an advertising the other day, a horticulture course, and I quite like to be better at gardening and become, emulate Monty Don. You won't know Monty Don, but he's an iconic television gardener. I love him.
I'm enjoying holding this. It's like a stress ball. Isn't that nice? Yeah.
I'll keep mine.
Yeah.
Next time.
Don't throw it at people.
Oh, this is a good one.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Hey, told ya.
If there was a villain in the movie, you would be the villain.
Really?
Well.
Oh,
Who,
no.
I mean, no.
I don't know. To be fair, I used to think that as well. Like, I was convinced, but we're all awful to each other.
Art is
I remember art kind of goes behind my
a little
back.
snaky.
But you're also
Little
likeable, which is a talent in itself to bring out the likability in each of your characters.
I'm just going to say thruple, okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to say thruple. It wasn't necessarily about your character, but about you two boys and the characters you play. Unpack that for me.
Although I think
The other thing is,
Look, you don't know, maybe.
Well, my therapist, I'm sorry, we've run out of time to unpack that for you.
I think for me, and the way I might disagree a little bit.
Okay, no, disagree. This is why you're here.
Because
No, it's definitely about us.
No. Why I don't disagree with this, but I do think that, and I've always felt this controversial opinion. It was never about her love of either of these people. It's about her love of tennis.
Yeah.
That's the interesting thing, right? That kind of ends up actually being what it's really about.
She's the only one who just loves tennis more than anyone and never got an opportunity to live it. And she is vicariously living through them in this moment. She says, I want to watch some good effing tennis.
Tell me about Zendaya, the producer. Oh, not the co-star.
no. Let me
the
tell
producer.
you about Zendaya,
This
the
is what we
producer.
want. This is what the people
Now
want.
in it. I've been waiting for this. Thank you.
It better be good.
I
It better be
swear.
good, Mike. You have a boss as well as a co-star.
Yeah, and she would give me notes
Yeah,
all the time, and it was a disaster.
So
I tell
bossy.
you. With having Z genuinely as a producer and being on that side of the camera, she was able to look out for us as actors, especially when it came to those intimate scenes.
Which one of us?
Also, she provided really great snacks.
That's true. That's
Thanks,
one of the
Mike.
big.
What's the specialty?
Of
Gummy
snack?
bears.
Well, that's just going to a shop and buying gummy bears, isn't it? Yeah.
No one else was doing it.
These are the things my actors want.
Yeah.
They demand
She
it.
listens.
It was a scene between. Well, I don't want to spoil the movie.
Don't give too much away, yo.
But it was a scene between Josh, Z, and myself, and we were rehearsing the scene, and it's this moment where she takes over the scene, and I remember watching her, and I was like, oh, she's great. We're gonna be great. This is gonna be great. And I just remember that moment very distinctly.
Did you guys get any injuries while filming?
Luckily, no.
I have a scar from this movie.
Dude.
That will never go away, that one.
What was that from?
It's from falling in the scene where I'm like, really play with me.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to like fall again.
Oh, and you filmed it.
And I fell and I...
So you don't need to get a tattoo in remembrance of the making of the movie.
No. I have this. This is here. I have challenge in the front, and then on the back, euphoria from the door.
No, Dune?
There we go, method acting.
No, dude, I guess I didn't work hard enough.
Good.
And so I then decided to approach it from a more dance background, and tried to mirror and copy and get the footwork down and the positioning of the hands and like all these kinds of things. I literally would mirror my double and I would record both of us over and over and over again, and then I'd go back and I'd watch it and I was like, I could be tighter, her feet are faster than mine, like her arm is higher than mine, and then I'd do it again and again, and that's kind of where I ended up going with my choice of like how to approach it, because I was like, I'm not gonna be good at this game. Because no matter how hard I try, so let's just take the ball out of it.
Without the ball, we're all unbelievably talented. Yeah.
And that's what you see.
Yeah.
Pressure's on, I'm recording now.
No, I was too...
It's got a little aggressive there.
I don't want you filming this until I nail it.
Okay.
You can film now, but
Okay.
I'll probably nail it.
Got it.
First time I got it.
Can't overthink it. Hey, there we go.
I remember the camera.
We're like kissing, and then
you had to
the camera sort of like got in the way of our kiss.
Rude. Yeah, quite frankly.
It was a delicate dance. On the day, they were playing a Bowie song, remember that? But it's Nelly now. I wish I would have danced It's Getting Hot in Here at the time, so that my dance probably would have been a little bit different. They were friends.
They were friends. Things were all great.
And then
Tashi came along and ruined.
You guys want to talk about this day?
Really I had to spit in your face all night.
The big problem was that the spit didn't look like spit.
No.
So they had to put this gel stuff.
Yeah.
And they just got this gloop and went like that. And I was like, this is horrible.
Yeah.
Give me your best serve.
Yeah, why not? But remember, that.
Josh had an extensive tennis background. Extensive. It goes deeply back.
It goes deeply in my roots. My whole family are all
tennis players? A long lineage.
But I had
Really
very
bad
little
to
experience
know.
of tennis. Idiot. But I fell in love with it through these guys and doing the film, and Brad Gilbert, our coach. There's a shot in the film that I was trying to perfect called the tweener. Where
As you can see, his extensive knowledge called the tweener.
And you have to hit the ball through your legs like this. You can't see it on camera like that.
Well,
these are my legs, and it's like
Stand
that.
on the chair and do it.
Anyway. So anyway, I was trying to do that. Yeah, I'll keep trying. And then I remember Brad coming over to me and talking at me about why it was like such an exciting shot, and how he was like, imagine seeing someone like take that shot, and I was like, yeah. I really, to be honest, wasn't listening to what he said. There was something about his passion for it. I was like, I am hooked on Brad Gilbert.
Yeah.
And I want to be more like Brad.
Okay, what was your favorite part of filming, you guys?
Tennis.
Smashing rackets.
You guys are supposed to see me, but okay.
It was a dream. Yeah, it was like the steam routine was hilarious because it wasn't that hot. I remember it was kind of chilly in there. But it was great. We'd rehearsed that scene a lot, me and Mike, because it's just so wordy and, you know, it's like a tennis match in itself. It's like back and forth. And so we'd spent a lot of time working on that. But it was great. I loved it.
You were all phenomenal in challenges. My question is for Mike. Taking inspiration from the title of the movie, what would you say was the biggest challenge for you when it came to playing the role of Art?
Personally, I kind of dread when an offer comes my way, especially when you know that you're probably going to do it, when you have that actual connection. And it is this kind of fear of your inabilities and your thoughts of your inabilities kind of like coming in and just being like, I'm not going to be able to do this the service that it actually needs. I will fail. And pushing through that and allowing yourself to open up and to let go of those things, that's when the actual work kind of allows itself to fly. And then you realize at the end of the day as an artist that, like, at the end of the day, it really doesn't fucking matter, any of it, you know? Like, you have to be willing, to fail. And you have to be able to look foolish. And once you're able to kind of get through that, you're liberated in a way where it's like, yeah, the whole point is to allow yourself to look like a fool. And that's when the interesting stuff comes in, is getting in that zone of uncomfortability and allowing yourself to just sit in that awful feeling. And that's always my biggest challenge.
Do you have a favorite Luca G movie? Which one and why?
Challenges.
Hey!
Let's go! I really genuinely love Bones and All so much. And we all watched that together in Boston, so it's also kind of like attached to really fond memories. I think it's a sweet story.
Yeah, no, you're right. That is a very cute story. Bones, I felt very connected to it because we got to watch it in our early days of making our movie, so it has a special place in my heart. We're like talking back to the screen.
It was actually, that day was actually so much fun because we were like intensely training and like going for it. And we all just came and it was like being on a school trip.
Yeah, it was fun.
It just comes naturally.
Josh
No
had to
training
teach
needed.
me.
Yeah.
Josh
I taught
would
these
pull
guys.
me aside and would say, now Mike.
Josh,
True.
sexy class.
I am terrible. I like honestly had to ask Zendaya on the first day how to hold it. I was like, what do we do with this thing? We were pretty bad. But do you know what? It was actually great. It was like learning a new skill.
Being sexy?
Being sexy was
Yeah, I
great.
thought we were talking about
That's
sexy
what we were
thing.
talking about.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the tennis.
No, we were talking about
Oh, being sexy.
We were
Yeah.
talking about Josh's
Oh,
sexy
brilliant.
class.
Yeah, no, I
You
taught them how to do that as well.
Yeah.
We're talking about tennis. Also, what did you think of it when I
When you
said
said hold it, I was like,
you good? Yeah, worried.
I was like, does he hear the joke?
I have had 2 hours sleep. I'm wrecked.
Just, I will push myself very, very hard. And I just found out during this press tour that while Brian was like working on me, like, you know, he would leave Josh for a minute on the bike, and the minute Brian had his back turned, Josh would just...
I wasn't a snitch though.
Rest period. But like, I don't know if...
It's the best acting of his career, honestly.
any of you are fitness people, you'll
Gym
know
work.
that rest is as important as the work. You have to take rest.
It's a very good saying. That's great. It is funny though, because it is Mike going hard and then us looking like.
We're like,
okay.
Many things, I feel like.
Yeah.
Anything
specific?
specific?
I'm like,
There's so many stories.
I feel like it's so tough because it's like, really, truly, we are 3, like, children.
Yeah.
And every time it was called cut, we were just being very... I think we had to be. Like, the intensity of the film meant that we kind of had to lighten it in between. So we had plenty of... I can't remember anything.
That's always the problem when
I
people
guess
ask, like, so tell us what happened. You're like, I can
It's
tell
like
you I had
2
fun. I
years
don't
ago, like,
remember
yeah.
anything. I do remember our first day because that was the day that Luca was sick.
Oh God!
And he had to direct us from an iPad upstairs in the hotel
Me and Z
room.
were doing this scene, and then it was like, because I think you guys had a day with him. Is that not right?
Yeah.
So you'd had
Our
one
first
shooting day
was,
with Luca.
No, but your first shooting day.
My first shooting day with you, we like someone would
We
come
had the
with this little
hotel
iPad
already.
and Luca's face being like, "Seems good," and you're like, "Great."
Okay.
So I have full confidence in that feedback. Yeah, that was mad.
Yeah, I thought that was a funny day. I've never seen someone command a set from an iPad before.
Yeah,
But he did
he
it.
did
It
it.
worked out.
Yeah.
Was it a COVID thing? Or? Yeah.
It's actually, we discovered really hard. So one of the pros that came in at one point, he was like, "Do you have to smash the racket?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "You know how hard that is?" And I was like, "Huh." And then we watched a couple of videos. First of all, the first thing is
easy.
they make it look so easy, but they also, and you can see this in the film, they don't just hit it once. It's like bang, 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 bang. And that was a relief. But also you have to hit it at a very particular point. I did get good at it. It was extremely therapeutic.
Didn't you hurt yourself?
I hurt myself. I had aching bones. I got like shards in my eye. It's chaos. Z had a go. Do you remember when you had a go and just gave up and threw it?
I throw it.
Yeah.
It's literally in the scene. I'm like, man,
This is
because I wasn't breaking it, and I was
Yeah.
so upset that I wasn't breaking it, which added to the frustration of the character. It was a choice.
Billing, you should just go and do it.
Oh,
Just go.
get a couple rackets.
If you imagine this is the racket and it goes like this, you want to be hitting it here.
Really?
Yeah, it's the
That's
bridge,
what it
just as it
was.
starts turning.
Certain things.
UK. UK. I don't.
Do you know what? I have to say UK.
Well, you have to. Otherwise, my family will disown me. You okay? With
Yes.
The mic?
No,
Okay.
I'm listening.
Okay, no, keep going. It's okay. You stay
I'm
over
with-
there.
I'm with you.
Yeah, you stay.
To the bitter end.
Okay, we're almost there. Sorry, we're getting to the end of the day, and we are starting
we've
to.
got a hysterical mode.
The loopiness is starting to kick in.
There's often this conception that you have to be either hot or funny, but I think that Challenges has disproved that. So we're starting off with a really serious question. What's it like to be both hot and funny?
Yeah, guys.
Couldn't tell you. I'm not funny. I don't know.
Yeah, because answering that is meaning that we have to acknowledge
Yeah,
those
that we're
things
hot
about
and funny,
ourselves,
which is-
and that's weird to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like
Over to you, Mike.
Yeah, exactly. Good luck, Mike.
I know you
I'm enjoying all of
You
it.
can't wait to
Yeah.
answer this.
I think the funny thing is, actually, on a serious note, like
Josh, you're
watching
not
the,
funny,
yeah, I know, I know, it's true. But watching the movie back, I was pleasantly surprised how funny we all are. We're
As
also
well, I was
very
like-
hot.
You know, really humble as well. And
Yeah, and really humble.
Time violation.
Josh.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Josh.
Also, it would be because I'd be trying to figure out how to do this, like how this thing works.
But Josh is always late.
Okay.
I love you.
What?
God. It's always Z and I first, and we're like, where's Josh?
We're just waiting
We're
here.
just waiting
Where
for
is
Josh.
he? Just strolling in with a cappuccino.
Yeah, with a
Were you guys
cappuccino.
waiting for me?
Just seen Josh turn up.
Yeah.
The iconic I Told Ya
Yeah,
t-shirt.
he's got it on. Okay,
got it
good.
I'd love to know how that became such a staple through the film.
Because when I was doing the research for Josh's character, I based a lot of it on JFK Jr.
Yes,
And there was some amazing street images of JFK Jr. when he's in the park, and he had this T-shirt.
Right.
Where it was from, I researched, could never find. And I was like, weirdly, there was a similarity, I thought, in the character, Josh, and that. There was something slightly pretentious in a good way. And then I liked that there was a kind of secret meaning or something, and that the T-shirt reappears twice. So.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of people are going to want to be wearing that as soon
Yeah.
as the film comes out. I see that.
Well,
This is an interview for you guys about me.
I think that the biggest thing.
Do you want to leave the room?
Yeah. Say nice things.
The biggest thing, truthfully,
Forget the movie, by the way.
that I think movie star.
It's just embarrassing. Sorry.
I think movie star can sometimes get lost in in this idea of fame, and of course there's all that goes along with it. But you can't be a movie star unless you're a brilliant actor, and Z is. So I think sometimes you do get lost in that. I think there is movie star quality which is undeniable, and I don't know what that is. It's like pixie dust to me, but she has it. But she's also what I can speak to is acting, and that's what my craft and trade is, and she's got all that. That's more important.
Yeah, it's like a self-invented thing by the public, almost. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, no, dude, she's a talented actor and a great person. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
And then after we shot, I can't remember why you weren't there, but me and Mike went to Wimbledon with Brad.
Oh yeah. I was in New York.
You were in New York. We went to Wimbledon with Brad Gilbert. And it was like...
That's a big experience.
It was amazing. Yeah. We saw Nadal.
Yeah.
Oh, we did?
Play tennis.
No, we just saw him.
Yeah. We saw him at the grocery store.
At the grocery store.
Not at Wimbledon.
Let me just clarify.
Surprisingly, not at Wimbledon.
Yeah, that's weird. Sorry, that was a really long answer to probably not your question.
Josh O'Connor. Mike Feist. And the incomparable and wonderful Zendaya.
Thank you all so much for being here. It's such an honor to have you, and I think I speak on behalf of all of us. I feel incredibly grateful that people are actually here. I always think that like nobody's going to be at these things, and then I'm so surprised when people are actually here, and there's so much love and just so much gratitude. So thank you so much for being here tonight. We sure hope you enjoy it, and just have fun, dance if you want to, because it will make you want to do that. And again, don't judge the characters too hard. Anything else?
As they say in Italy, buona visione, good movie.
He would have beat you guys then.
Mike, if I was one when I started, then he's definitely one.
Then I need to see the BTS of the tennis rehearsals and the practice where you guys just like balls flying all over the place.
Trust me, you don't need to see that.
I have it.
Do you?
I have a lot of
I have lots of it.
And I've always been saying is just, you know, it's really a privilege with both Z and Josh when you have these just instinctual actors that know their characters so well and have these ideas. They're able to throw something up in the air to you, and you're able to take that and throw it back.
Period.
Bop, and boop, and tuck, 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 tuck.
Josh, I wondered if you could, whose style, acting skills, and tennis talent would you steal from each of the cast members?
I thought you were going to be like, in the world.
Yeah. I think make it good.
There's Darnell.
Period.
Exactly.
Yeah, where's Darno? Shout out Darno.
Okay, tennis.
Time to compliment us.
Oh, Brad Gilbert's in it. So I take his tennis skills. No, listen, we'll play the game. I would take Mike's tennis skills. Wait, what was it? Style, tennis skills, and acting skills.
Who's your best friend?
Yeah, exactly. Basically, who's your best mate? Okay, I would take.
So great.
I would take the style from Zendaya. What the hell? I'm going to upset everyone. Mike's tennis skills and the acting skills of Darnell.
Nice. Good save.
Over to me, I suppose.
Pawsy.
You want me to do it?
No, no, please. It's okay. Really. You stay right there, Mike.
Do we have Tope?
Everyone.
Nice. Hello.
Congrats on the film.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question for Josh. Was there anything in particular that drew you to this project?
Yeah, there were. There were loads of things. I think you get a call from Luca, and that's an immediate like. Should probably do that. And the script was fantastic. We had Z as an actor and a producer, was incredible, and I was a big fan of her work before. And then Mike came in, and then
And then Mike came in.
I did my best to get out of the project, but no. It was too late. No, Mike came in and it was the dream. It doesn't matter if it's Luca, Zendaya, Mike, these a great script. It's still petrifying and you don't really know if you're going to be any good or if it's going to be any good. And then sometimes you have a project like this where you still have those fears, but when you get there day one, you're like, oh, actually, it doesn't matter even if it isn't. If it isn't all those things, it's still great because we had so much fun and had such a laugh doing it. So it was one of those. Yeah.